Dot Solutions. Add-on desires.
Hello viewers, welcome to Dot Solution Daily Current Affairs. I'm Lokesh Penugondo. Our first article of today's session is talking about the reshuffling of the Indian cabinet. For the first time, the NDA 2 government, NDA 2.0 government has reshuffled the cabinet. So what is this NDA 2.0? In the year 2014, the NDA government has come to the power for the first time, and in the 2019 election it has come to the power for the second time. So we call this second government which is elected in the 2019 as the NDA 2.0, and as it already been 2.5 years, the Indian cabinet and the Prime Minister want to reshuffle the Union Council of Ministers, and as a result, so the Prime Minister has asked the President to add and to remove certain members from the Council of Ministers list, and accordingly the President has done so. Now we'll see the strength of the Council of Ministers after the cabinet reshuffling. The current strength of Council of Ministers is 78, whereas the maximum strength of Council of Ministers could be 81. So how is the maximum strength 81? In the year 2003, the Indian Parliament has passed a law or has passed a constitutional amendment. This is the 91st Constitutional Amendment Act, wherein it has stated that the maximum strength of Union Council of Ministers would be 15% of the Lok Sabha strength, as the Lok Sabha has a 543 membered body. The 15% of this 543 comes around 81.4. So the maximum number of Council of Ministers allowed under the Indian Constitution as of now is 81. After the yesterday's reshuffling, the total Council of Ministers became 78. So if the President and the Prime Minister wants, they can add 3 more members to the Council of Ministers list. Now we'll see about the highlights of this cabinet reshuffling after the addition of several members to the Council of Ministers and after the removal of 12 members from the existing Council of Ministers. The average age of this Council of Ministers has been reduced from 61 to 58. So we can understand from this that new members who are added into the Council of Ministers list are younger compared to the earlier Council of Ministers. That's why the average age has become 58. The number of women Council of Ministers in the Indian government is 11. So these two are something you should remember when it comes to examination point of view. Next we have an article where it is stated that a new platform to map the spread of Pegasus has been launched. This new platform has been launched by the Forensic Architecture, Amnesty International and Citizens Lab. So we'll see what is this Pegasus first. Pegasus is a spyware. It is a spyware. So what do you mean by spyware? Spyware is a malware where the infected person's electronic device can be accessed by the attackers so as to steal and so as to view the data that is available in the targeted person's phone. So let's say a person has been attacked by this Pegasus spyware. Then the attacker who has targeted this person can view the data that includes the phone call records, the photos, the videos of the targeted person's mobile. So this is what we mean by a spyware, wherein the attacker can steal the data of the targeted person. So what you need to understand is that Pegasus is a spyware. It was invented by the NSO group. It was invented by the NSO group. So how does the Pegasus work? There is a small problem in the WhatsApp. This small problem is used by the Pegasus spyware so as to take the access and to take the data of the attack of the targeted person's mobile. So mainly through WhatsApp, this spyware can be installed on the targeted person's phone. Last year, it is stated that people in more than 20 countries, people living in more than 20 countries were attacked by this spyware. the targeted persons include lawyers, they include human rights activists, and they include political descendants. So it is widely stated that it is the governments who are using this Pegasus to target those persons whom the government does not like. Next we have an article where it is stated that the president of the small Caribbean island country Haiti has been assassinated by the mercenaries. So we'll see where Haiti is. In the image, you can see where Haiti is. Haiti is a small Caribbean island country. Caribbean island country. The capital of Haiti is Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince. And yesterday, the president of Haiti, Mr. Jovenel Moise, was assassinated by some mercenaries. Next, we have an article where the Reserve Bank of India has asked the banks to include retail and wholesale traders in the revised MSME list. So, what is this MSME definition? First, you should understand what a MSME is. MSME stands for micro, small and medium industries. There are millions of small firms and industries in the country. To categorize these under the micro, small and medium categories, government has come out with some criteria. And last year, the criteria has been revised. So what you need to understand from the revised criteria is this. First, earlier, the criteria was mainly on the basis of investment. So, mainly on the basis of investment, a company was categorized under the micro, smaller, medium type. But now, not only investment, but also turnover will be taken into consideration for categorizing these industries or categorizing these service providers. This is first major change. Next is, earlier the classification criteria for manufacturing enterprises and the classification criteria for services enterprises is different. You can see in this image how a manufacturing enterprise can be classified as micro industry if its investment is less than 25 lakh. But a service enterprise can be categorized as a micro industry if its investment is less than 10 lakh. So there is different criteria to classify a manufacturing and a services industry. But this is done away with in the new revised definition. In the image you can see how for both manufacturing and services industry, the classification criteria is the same. So, no distinction in the classification criteria. The third is the investment value has been tremendously increased. Earlier, if you want to categorize a company under the micro list, this company should have an investment of less than 25 lakh. But this investment has been increased to nearly 1 crore under the new list. So, the value of investments has been increased drastically. So, these three are changes you need to understand and remember when it comes to examination point of view. Next, we have an article where the Minister of External Affairs, Mr. S. Jaishankar, has met the Iranian president-elect, So, what do you mean by president-elect? Last week, we have seen the presidential elections in the Iran, and in this election, a person named Ibrahim Raisi has been elected. As the tenure of the current president is not over yet, Mr. Ibrahim Raisi is still in waiting. So, once the tenure of the current president is over, Mr. Ibrahim Raisi will take over the presidency of Iran. So, in this image, you can see Mr. S. Jaishankar and Mr. Ibrahim Raisi. Next, we have an article where a veteran film actor and a film producer of the Hindi film industry, Mr. Dilip Kumar, has been passed away. So, we'll see some brief background and significance of Mr. Dilip Kumar. Mr. Dilip Kumar is a veteran film actor and a producer. he is mainly associated with the Hindi film industry. You should note that he is the person with the highest number of Filmfare Awards for the best actor, From this itself you can understand his great acting skills, and the passing away of Mr. Dilip Kumar is a significant loss to the film industry in the country. Next we have an article which is dealing with the YSR Achievement Award. The Andhra Pradesh state government has come up with 2 awards. The first is the YSR Lifetime Achievement Award. The second is YSR Achievement Awards. It is stated that people who receive this award will not only get a certificate from the government, but also they will get rupees 10 lakh and 5 lakh for these category awards. The Andhra Pradesh government is providing these awards to people who have gave some help to the society in the last few years. And it is stated that Mr. Surendra, who is the retired cartoonist of the Hindu, is also one of the awardees. Next we have an article where the Maharashtra government has informed the Bombay High Court that it is planning to set up a special cell. It is planning to form a special cell to protect the doctors from unnecessary police complaints from the kin of the patients. So what is this special cell and why is the Maharashtra government planning to set up this special cell? Since the pandemic struck the country, many patients and many persons who have been infected by the COVID-19 have to go and have to get themselves admitted into the hospitals. Most of the patients who were admitted in the hospitals have returned to their homes, but there are some cases where the patients have died. In these cases, the family members of this patient have filed some complaints at the police station stating that it is due to the doctor's negligence that their family member has been died. So, a number of complaints are being issued against the doctors at the nearby police stations. So, numerous FIRs were filed against these doctors, and doctors have to go to one court to other court to defend themselves against these FIRs filed by the police establishment. And as a result, several doctors have approached the Bombay High Court. They have asked the Bombay High Court to protect them from frivolous complaints or the false complaints. And the Bombay High Court has asked the Maharashtra government regarding the steps it might take. In this regard, Maharashtra state government has stated that it will bring in a special cell, where this special cell will first investigate the complaint by the family members of the patient. And only when the special cell find the complaint to be true, only if the special cell find that there is some evidence against the doctor, only in that case FIR would be filed. So this will protect the doctors from direct FIRs, and it will also protect the doctors from frivolous or false complaints from various patients and the family members of the patients. So it is the Maharashtra state government that is for the first time bringing in or setting up a special cell to protect the doctors against the unnecessary police complaints filed by kin of the patients. So this is a significant development towards the protection of the doctors in the country. Next we have an article wherein the World Population Day is mentioned. So we'll see on which date the World Population Day is observed on. It is observed on the July 11th of every year. So on July 11th every year, the World Population Day is observed. Also, a mention of the Global Gender Gap Report has been mentioned. So we'll see what is this Global Gender Gap Report. Global Gender Gap Report. Every year, starting from 2006, the World Economic Forum releases this Global Gender Gap Report or the Global Gender Gap Index. So what does this global gender gap report or index talk about? The World Economic Forum surveys various countries in the world, and it will see which all countries are providing equality to women in various categories. So we have the category of polity, we have the category of economy, we have the category of education, where women might not be treated on the same par with the men. So there is inequality, there is discrimination against women in the government politics, in the economy and in the education. This World Economic Forum's report will see and will rank the countries based on the inequality and the gender gap. And in the latest global gender gap report, India has been placed at the 140th rank out of the 156 countries that have been surveyed. So you can understand from this rank that India is lagging very badly when it comes to gender equality in the world. So this is with respect to the World Population Day and the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report or the index. Next we have an article where the Sri Lankan government has issued a coin to mark the Chinese Party's centenary. So what is this Chinese Communist Party centenary? In the year 1921, the Communist Party of China was established. You should know that there is only one political party in the entire country of China, and this is the political party that will win definitely, as there is just one political party. So it is authoritarian and it is communist, and as this is 2021, it has marked the 100 years of establishment of this Communist Party of China. To mark this important day of Chinese Communist Party, the government of Sri Lanka has issued several gold and silver coins. So in the image you can see how the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa is receiving the first gold and silver coin to mark the Chinese Communist Party's 100th anniversary from its RBI's governor. So we have the central bank governor of Sri Lanka, which has issued these two coins from the request of the Sri Lankan government. So if you have a question where it is asking about the country which has provided or which has issued gold and silver coins to commemorate the 100th anniversary of establishment of Chinese Communist Party, it will be Sri Lanka. Next we have an article where the passing away of Olympian Mr. Keshav Dutt is mentioned. So we'll see in which field Mr. Keshav Dutt is related to. Keshav Dutt is one of the members of India's Olympic team which has won the 1958 Olympics. In the year 1958, the Indian hockey team won against the British. And Mr. Keshav Dutt, whom you can see in this image, is part of this Olympic gold medal winning team. So Mr. Keshav Dutt is related to the field of hockey, and he has taken part in the 1958 Olympics. And with this, we have come to the end of this session. Inform about ADOT's initiative to your other aspirant friends. You can visit our website to attend mock tests based on the daily current affairs. Thank you for watching.
Add-on Solutions. Add-on Desires.